note came from Hunter Biden's bathroom.
Like, I wonder if it works. Do you know what I mean? When he says to his followers, like, you're no supporter of mine if you keep talking about Epstein.
Yeah. What do you think was in the files?
I don't know, man. There's a great clip from Daily Show.
Yeah.
And he does this whole thing on Occam's razor. He's like, let's step back for a moment and review the facts. And he goes through all of the associations that he has with Epstein. You know, not just the pictures, but the, you know, Epstein himself, you know, saying that Trump was his best friend for 10 years.
That was quite a shame.
It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
And then he goes through all of the connections, and not even all of them, but for like 3 minutes. I just don't know how he's going to turn this one.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats.
We need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think we talked about it before, is that central to their tactics is this
how this might come from childhood trauma. I believe that these delays are really due to the childhood trauma issues of dissociation and hypervigilance. Childhood trauma survivors struggle with not fully being in their body and not being present in their emotions in real time. We tend to live in a cerebral kind of anxious place, in a thinking place and maybe that's where they're quickly saying yes to things because we live in a little bit of an emergency, which will be on another issue coming up later. It might be due to that kind of energy we have going on. The hypervigilance, I believe, is when our inner child kind of goes, wait a minute, you know, like this, was I just taken advantage of, or was I just let down again? Or perhaps some anger and sadness comes up later. You know, kids growing up in childhood trauma leave their emotional body. They go up into their heads and watch out for what the adults are doing or what the adults need. And we're not attuned with ourselves in what.
You heard the question. Answer him.
Negative.
You don't have to give him a full political briefing. Answer.
Negative.
He's become so ambiguous now, as if he knows nothing at all.
The books are not available anywhere. They've been destroyed, and some of the information's been destroyed.
What about the books?
Books, oh no, they're all changed, all transcribed, all information's here. We've Zero, of course. He's the central brain, the world's brain.
You know, this is creepy stuff, all right? And the warning signs have been all around us in culture that information is power. I think Francis Bacon said that. Information, therefore, is scattered and has to be sought out. But again, libraries, collections of information, written and otherwise, have been gathered publicly so that someone who
Plus, when I posted that I'm hanging out with Pavel, a lot of people, fans of his, wrote to me asking if he does, in fact, privately live the disciplined, ascetic life he's known for. No alcohol, stoic mindset, strict diet and exercise, including a crazy amount of daily pull-ups and push-ups, no phone except to occasionally test Telegram features, and so on. Yes, he's 100% that guy, which made the experience of hanging out with him really inspiring to me. I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful to now be able to call him a friend. This podcast conversation is in parts philosophical, about freedom, life, human nature, and the nature of government bureaucracies. And it is also in parts super technical, because to me, it is fascinating that Telegram has a relatively small engineering team and yet is able to basically out-innovate all of its competitors with an insane
It's a restaurant. Oh, I never heard of Benihana.
It's his place.
No. Oh,
No,
wow.
Cash takes me to Olive Garden. He don't take me to those nice places.
Okay,
I eat
so
Olive Garden every night.
remember when I said his real name is Brenda Silla?
Yes.
I believed it too. I thought your name was Brenda.
Wait, is your last name actually Overstreet?
Yeah.
Really? That's a crazy last name.
Why is that a crazy
Overstreet.
last
Good or
name?
bad?
Thank you.
Overstreet?
Yeah.
No,
You
it's
don't
like
like it?
I've never. I don't know. It sounds like a street.
He
name.
doesn't. Hey, what you don't? You think it's a street name?
Yeah. Sounds like
Sounds
Street
Marlin
over-
Drive.
You got hair being all weird back here. Let me fix it. Come here.
What was that about?
It is kind of weird looking.
Ow, stop slapping me.
Okay.
Seriously, stop.
Dang.
Okay.
They're such a happy couple. Look at them.
Okay.
Oh, they're bonding.
Ow.
Your head looks flat in the back.
So yeah, heads
Dang.
should be flat.
You look
okay?
like Phineas and Ferb Loki. Oh,
Do you guys ever wish you knew when you were in the good old days?
What?
What?
Because I think that's it.
What? You think we are in the good old
ask her myself.
No,
because it's easier when I ask direct. And I know Christy, so
yeah.
But I was like, it's nicer when there's. I told my team too. I was like, it's so much nicer when there's like a personal connection,
for sure,
and someone really feels comfortable rather than it's like a PR thing.
No, it was so perfect. Like when I think back to it, I'm like, that was me just trusting the universe and not pushing for anything, and I knew it was going to kind of happen when it was supposed to, and it literally did.
And it did,
so
yeah.
You felt it too.
Yeah, I did. That means the world to me. Yeah,
right.
and I hope that this is the start of spending more time together. Genuinely.
Me too.
Yeah, off camera too.
I would love that because, like, I think also, I don't know, like, I admire people like you. I admire, like, you know, the Michael Pollan's and Michael Singers and Wim Hofs of the world. And I feel like you fit in that category for me of just people that are, because, you know, I know a little bit about your story. I'd like to actually know more, which would be really cool to actually, I know we're obviously not here for that exactly. But for me, just personally, like, I'd love to know more of your story. I know that
that first week because she's scared to even exist in the house. So as she's getting more comfortable, more confident, she's beginning to interact with the dogs a little more. And that's what requires a lot of constant supervision because we're all home, you know, and it's going positively. But like I said in my first video, safety is our number one job. We have to make sure that all of our dogs are safe, coexisting with each other. I wanted to give you this update because I have been filming this last week with her and we had really good days and really bad days. Sometimes it feels like you're making progress and other times it's not. It's 10 steps backwards. The next time that I post a video like this, hopefully you guys will get a big, you know, joyful payoff. Fingers crossed. Last week's video definitely felt a little incomplete, but I wanted to show you how rewarding it can be just in the first couple of weeks. And yes, it's been hard, and yes, it has taken almost all of Julia and I's energy and time. At the moment, you think you have a plan, but then when
it's very difficult to appreciate the dangers because the dangers, they are kind of alien. In the Hollywood scenario, you have the killer robots shooting people. In real life, it's the humans pulling the trigger, but the AI is choosing the targets.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here today. I'm excited to unpack what I think is a really revelatory book, a very important book that speaks to perhaps the most vital issue of our time. And in reflecting upon it, I was thinking back on Homo Deus, which came out in 2015, 16?
Yeah, 16.
And in that book, you address AI, but at that time, it was as if you were sounding an alarm on a future story that had yet to be written, right?
Yeah.
And perhaps it came off a bit Cassandra, you know, in that moment. And I'm curious.
People don't know is you can have an impact on that. And since 2005, I wrote a book with my friend Rod Schenkel called Preventing Alzheimer's. And I updated it in 2017 with Memory Rescue. And the big idea is if you want to keep your brain healthy or rescue it, you have to prevent or treat the 11 major risk factors that steal your mind. And you talked about your mom having it. The mnemonic that we'll talk about is called Bright Minds. And the G in Bright Minds is genetics, but we don't think about it properly. Oh, well, I'm overweight because my family's overweight, or I have hypertension because it runs in my family, or I have diabetes because it runs in my family, or I have Alzheimer's disease, or I'm vulnerable to it and there's nothing I can do about it. And that's a lie. G
of easy relief. Within psychology, this type of constant replaying, reanalyzing, or rethinking our own life's events is known by the term rumination, and rumination is regarded as very common to the states of chronic anxiety and depression. But thankfully, there is a happier solution to these habits of rumination, and it comes within the practice of mindfulness-styled meditation. With these relatively simple and easy techniques you are about to learn, you will find that we can powerfully train our everyday conscious minds to automatically move towards the more productive and resourceful states of enjoying a very real sense of pleasant, confidently felt emotional